Trevor Lawrence up against Joe Burow. Yes, please, in primetime. Lawrence getting his primetime debut. He doesn't have a win yet as an NFL starter. Can he get his first win of his career tonight into the bright lights of Thursday Night Football? We'll see. Jags-Bengals Week 4 starts right here. Thursday Night Football tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern on NFL Network and streaming on the NFL app. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Good Morning Football. We're presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. We're live in New York City. It's September 30th. My name is Kay. Peter Schrager, Kyle Brandt, Matt Castle.
What up, man?
On the program.
Welcome. Just a lot of coffee this morning.
So much. Let's go!
Just a lot of like weird kind of comments coming out of my mouth. I apologize.
You're doing great.
It's like
that's
my
what we like about
fifth cup of coffee.
We're definitely putting you on the spot quite a bit, but you had to know that was coming.
Oh,
that was part of our game planning.
That's
We
what I
schemed
wanted,
against
to bring
you.
out that energy, right?
Yeah, we'll get to a lot of Brady. We'll get to a lot of Foxborough, a lot of Bill Belichick. But let's talk about tonight and start with the lead block.
Lead block.
Yes, Paul Brown Stadium. That is what you're looking at here. This is the site of Bengals Jaguars. That'll happen hours from now right here on NFL Network, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can hang out with Colleen Wolfe and the gang at 6 p.m. Eastern as we welcome in Cameron Wolfe. We've got a big one tonight. Cameron, thanks for joining the show. We're starting to see Joe Burow and Jamar Chase, that chemistry really take off and click. Why is that connection working so well outside the obvious?
Yeah, Kay. Joe Burow proclaimed himself back this week, and we got to see it. One example for me is earlier this past game against the Steelers, Joe Burow checked to a QB draw on the third quarter. He saw the Steelers line was light, and he ran, juked the defender, dived for a first down, then dropped the ball like Joe Mixon does in his first down celebrations. Mixon said after the game that he was like, hold on, Joe. Hold on, Joe. He got his swag back, and it was fun to see that. And for Burow, it was the first time he really was able to do that since his knee injury last year about 10 months ago. And you talked about that Jamar Chase-Burow connection. They threw a touchdown the very next play. Burow threw a touchdown to Chase, and he said it was actually his fifth read that he saw Chase. Chase has caught a touchdown in 3 consecutive games now, and with T. Higgins out, you probably see a lot more targets. It's funny, it seems like a long time ago when we were talking about Chase's drop issues. You definitely see now that Burow and Chase had that chemistry and that connection, and Chase was just named Offensive Rookie of the Month in the NFL so far. So it's clear so far that connection between Burow and Chase has been just like it was at LSU.
Hey, Cameron, the Jags are looking for the first win of this season, but they're also hoping that Trevor Lawrence can cut down on his league-leading 9 turnovers. What's the latest on his development?
Yeah, Matt, I'm actually interested to hear your thoughts on this. I went down to Jacksonville this week and wanted to talk to them about where they were with Trevor Lawrence and his decision-making versus his aggression. And offensive coordinator Darrell Bevell told me they want him to keep his stinger. They don't want him to turn into check down Charlie. So while they're telling him to improve his decision-making, they also want him to take those chances when they come. And Trevor Lawrence told me that he felt like 4 of his 7 interceptions that he's thrown so far have been bad decision interceptions. And he feels like that's too many. He said some of them have been good plays, but the bad decision interceptions is what he wants to get better at. He felt like he only threw 1 bad decision pass against the Cardinals, and unfortunately it was that pick 6 off that flea flicker. So one thing to watch in this Thursday night game is how many bad decisions does Trevor make. He's trying to really hone in on decision making. So look at one way for them to help him out is use James Robinson. They didn't use him a lot in the first 2 games, but last week against Arizona, they really let him carry the ball. So if they balance their game plan a lot more out with running the ball, then he can take more selective shots down the field and use that aggression and smart decisions.
7 interceptions, just 5 touchdowns for the rookie. And we did have Matt Castle talk about how he still needs to have that sort of, not arrogance, but confidence out there as the leader of the team, some swagger out there and taking those shots for the rest of his teammates. And a really good supporting cast on there in Jacksonville. Thanks so much, Cameron Wolfe. Talk to you throughout the morning here. Go get yourself some pancakes. That's what we're doing right now. It's time for Throwdown Thursday, presented by IHOP. We love an IHOP. Perfect match for our show. Let's stay right here, guys, with this Thursday Night Football matchup right here on NFL Network. Quarterbacks we've been waiting for. Which #1 pick puts on a bigger show tonight, though, guys? We've been stewing over this all week. Definitely all day. Is it Trevor Lawrence or is it Joe Burow? Peter, round 1 fight.
I remember last year, week 2, it was Baker versus Burow, and it's like, let's see what this Burow kid's all about. And Joe Burow came out and had one of the coolest Thursday night performances I've ever seen from a rookie.
Yeah.
I think Joe Burrow's meant for the spotlight and meant for the prime time, and I think tonight he's going to ball out. This was last year against the Browns. early in the season. The Browns won the game. Don't get me wrong. Browns won the game. Burrow attempted 61 passes, threw it all over the yard, had 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions, and it was like, we got a glimpse of this guy. We never saw him on primetime since. He got injured. Now we get him again. 37 of 61, 316, 3 touchdowns. I think they're better this year than they were last year. I think Joe Burow stands out. This team, it's a lot of Joe Burow.
37 of 61.
Some stat line, right? I've got Joe Burow. I think he does it again. It's his second primetime game in the NFL, and I think he steps up to the plate.
I think you're probably right, but the word show has so many different definitions.
Yes.
It doesn't always have to be necessarily a positive show. It's also like, you know, I look at Trevor Lawrence, and it's like, you could just take pancakes and leave him there, but if you want to throw on some blueberry compote and a little whipped cream, you get the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity, and you take it to the extra level. That's what I look at as Trevor Lawrence. There is going to be a Trevor Lawrence show tonight. I'm not sure what kind of show it's going to be. I know he's fun to look at physically. I know he's fun to watch psychologically what's going through his head. So maybe he does have this coming out party. He's like, oh my God, Lawrence, hell yes, that's awesome. And maybe it's not great, and maybe he falls on his face. That is also a show that we will be talking about tomorrow, that the postgame will be talking about. Do it, damned if you do, damned if you don't. It will be a show from Trevor Lawrence, and I will be watching.
All right, you talk about a show, but I mean, Joe Burrow's the guy that's going to show out. Like, let's be honest.
That's a different show.
That's a different type of show. And if we're talking about showing out, I'm going to have to go with Joe Burrow with the weapons that he has, with the connection that he has with Jamar Chase, the running back with Joe Mixon. I mean, he's got all the elements to have success. And look, we're talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars defense. They're one of the worst in the league. They've struggled against the pass.
They need to show up.
So they need to show up.
That's a different
while
show.
Joe Burrow shows out.
And it's a showdown tonight.
It's going to be it's a showdown. Here we go, folks.
And a hoedown.
Here it is. We got impressions and impersonations and accents out of this guy. All right, we've been talking about Tom Brady's return to Foxborough on Sunday Night Football. We've been doing it all week, especially with Matt Castle here in studio now. We've been talking about this for months. Brady versus Belichick in Massachusetts. Those guys are 2 Boston legends for sure, undeniably. So much drama. It's almost like a scene from a movie, which brings us to our final throwdown. What is the more iconic Boston movie? The Departed or Good Will Hunting? Matt, you're up.
Oh, Good Will Hunting came out before The Departed, right? But I'm a sucker for gangster movies. And I remember being in Boston when I was younger, and one of a good family friend took me around Southeast, showed me where, you know, Whitey Bulger's hangout was.
It's crazy,
and
right?
it was an ex-cop, too, so this guy was shot here, so I was all in.
Who was this friend? I love this guy.
I can't tell you, dude. There's no names, all right? We're not going to reveal anything. It might have been, you know, no.
Yeah.
But long story short,
Is he starting for the Buccaneers right now?
No, not yet. I don't think.
Departed is your movie?
Yeah. Departed is for sure my movie.
It's a great movie.
Good Will Hunting. It's got to be Good Will Hunting.
About them
Affleck. How about them apples? Casey Affleck and then Matt Damon. Kyle, when you come in on Monday mornings after those Justin Fields performances, I just, in my head, am picturing Robin Williams holding Matt Damon. It's not your fault. Will, it's not your fault. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do when you see these Justin Fields numbers, 6 for 20. This is the crew. What up, Minnie Driver? Come on.
This is
People think Matt did her wrong after this. People thought he broke up with her on Oprah. He says, no, there's a whole drama there. This is the answer to the question. The Departed is a significantly better film. Good Will Hunting is a much more identifiable Boston film. Leo DiCaprio and Jack Nicholson are not Boston guys. Damon and Affleck. Here's my question. Has Good Will Hunting aged well? Like, I don't mean in the term of the cancellation sense. I just mean like, that scene in which 2 beer-drinking dudes are about to have a fight about the economy of the southern colonies in the 19th century is preposterous. That would never happen. Harvard bar, community college bar, and Damon's all like, see, you're going to find out that you dropped a bleeping education, $1.50 in late charge. You could have got the public library. And the guy fires back and he's like, yeah, but I'll still have an education and you'll be serving my kids fries in a drive-thru on our way to a ski trip. Like, no one talks that way. And he's like, you're going to be out here reciting Gordon Wood? You're a second-year grad student. Stop. That scene I couldn't get through. So it's canceled? No. It just hasn't aged great. But when Affleck walks in and goes, so this is a Harvard bar. I thought there'd be bleeping equations on the wall. I'm like, wow, that is so Boston it hurts. And it's the answer to this question is more definitive Boston movie.
That was the question. What is the more iconic Boston movie? So, that's what do you guys think out there at GMFB? That was Throwdown Thursday presented by IHOP. Good morning football on the way. Castle, we've been loading you with the rock. Like, you're carrying it, you're catching it out the backfield, and we're going to continue to do that. We're waiting for this matchup with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. We're going to get some stories out of you after this.
Let's go.
Also like Stellan Skarsgård.
Every customer has their own Safelite story.
This couple loves camping adventures, and their SUV is always there with them. So when their windshield got a chip, they wanted it fixed fast. They drove to Safelite Auto Glass for a guaranteed same-day in-shop repair. We repaired the chip before it could crack, and with their insurance, it was no cost to them.
Really?